can do it. Community understandings. The teachers and students now had their understandings, and the next step was to inform parents about the developmental management approach via newsletters and letters home. Parent letters were developed to advise parents of positive behaviours, or that a student was being exited, and if there was a need for a parent meeting. The positive note home highlighted specific behaviours such as: I worked to achieve personal goals, I showed leadership, I encouraged the efforts of others, I had a go at something new, or performed a random act of kindness. The second letter that was devised was a letter that would let parents know that their child had refused to obey instructions, made others feel uncomfortable, interrupted learning, talked back to the teacher, or used inappropriate language.
Sorry.
Okay, that's it now. Okay. Right, your turn. Oh no, yeah, sorry. Okay, where we're at now, data has been collected over 2 terms, and we had to ask ourselves, when it was collated, why there was a high number of students not feeling safe in the yard, and what were the commonalities of students being exited from the classroom, and were they the same ones? The commonalities in the classroom show that students were being exited for interfering with others' rights to learn, and outside in the yard for making students feel unsafe. The next few slides show this in graph form. To date, from beginning of term 3, there have been nearly 300 yard exits and over 200 class exits. Anecdotally, however, the figures have shown a decrease of exits by 3/4 this term, which has been a great result. Other data that was collected were the student-reported incidences. In the yard, students have reported a variety of incidences that students felt had not been dealt with, and that they were now given a voice to allow them to tell what happened to them. In the welfare room, a victim impact statement was taken with words, or they could draw what happened. Just filling in a form was enough for some of the students, and they felt satisfied that they had been heard. Visits to the welfare room this year, or from beginning of term 3. There have been to date 103 students who have been exited from the yard or classroom. 35% had only 1 or 2 visits, 2 students 16 to 20 times, and 3 students 21 to 30 times. This next graph shows the exit of a student 51 times since the beginning of term 3. This student was new to the school this year. Whilst the results show an escalation of exits, there has been a huge reduction of visits to the welfare room in November. As you can see, in June, July, August, an escalation. September it went down, but the holidays were in September. So that would have been up if it was a normal month. And October, the exits were high as well. And we put down the result of low exit in November as being seeking help from professionals, teachers building and developing relationships, and having the support of parents. And they have all helped this student begin to respect the rights of others and take personal responsibility for his actions.
Right. Oh. Okay, moving forward. Now it was time to reflect. Is that the one? I'll go backwards. Now it was time to reflect on the past 4 months. So Mary and I put together an evaluation form which we presented to the staff and asked them to reflect on their practice and to realistically evaluate the program to date in order to set direction for the future. We asked that they sit in their teaching teams and answer truthfully. And I'm referring to this one over here. They would tick the check boxes that they actually used, and in the first one displaying the pictures of the right to learn and the right to be safe around the learning units, unanimously everybody did that. Unanimously they agreed they displayed the steps and the processes. Now the sending of positive letters home, some people were using that process, others were preferring to write in diaries just positive comments. The use of the exit notes, some people were using exit notes before the child left the room, others were preferring to make a direct phone call to the welfare room. The spiral dialogue cards were not being used at all, and the behaviour management booklet also was not being used at all. And the specialists were also saying that they couldn't use many of those things because they were floating around rooms and didn't have access to the resources. We then asked, of all the things that you've said that you are using and you have adopted as regular classroom practice, what has made the most positive impact or improvement in the way that you deal with the behaviour issues? And they wrote for this and they said, well, consistently using the steps has helped. They were starting to build relationships with individual students by using the new framework. They found exiting students from learning spaces had an impact on the amount of work that they were actually able to cover in the classes. They all adopting the language of rights and responsibilities was a common occurrence and useful, and the students were even using it when they would come and make a complaint. They would say, you know, I wasn't feeling safe and my right to learn's being affected. Having the processes has worked as the students know what is expected. And in one case, a student teacher was using, as part of her lesson plan, taking the kids through the booklet. Okay, next slide. Where to from here? The biggest issue we have faced to date is having an aligned approach by all staff and for all of them to see the need to implement the processes. We do need our programs, special programs for the C&D student engagement. There is a thought that next year we'll have those children 1 hour in the classroom, out 1 hour doing activities that are linked to the curriculum but reflect what is being taught, but are more hands-on activities. We will be having educational, individual social emotional plans for our Ds, but also expecting that the staff monitor them, because the research has shown that the dropout rate for children rejected by peers is between 2 and 8 times greater for children that have no friends, and 25% of children who are unpopular in primary school do drop out before completing high school. So we need the staff to be aware of these things, and they need to be aware that they are also needing to target the timid, anxious and socially shy students, that they also need intervention. So from here we are asking the staff to reflect on themselves and think about what they're doing in the classrooms. You know, how are they developing positive self-esteem in the classroom? Are they creating, you know, success and mastery, laughter? Are the kids having fun and celebrating the learning? Are the staff providing us a positive and warm classroom climate? And are they, as teachers, providing positive and realistic expectations for the students? We are also going to explicitly teach socialisation programs next year. We are going to teach self-awareness, self-regulation, social skills, conflict resolution, respect for others and empathy, and cooperation through tasks. And most importantly, we're asking that the teachers model that which we expect of the students.